Hello, friends. How are you? Hope everybody's doing well. Let me turn this light around so you can actually see me. And then we were going to talk a little bit about what's going down with the weather situation. I am pleased to say that the worst of the weather is not happening here in Central Texas. Bob, what's going on? I was looking at your feed from Bahia earlier. What a day it has been through portions of Northeast Texas. Just to catch everybody up with what's been going on, here in the Austin area, obviously we have storms rolling through. However, they are below severe limits. Yes, they're loud. I hear them over my head right now at our station in Northwest Austin. They are loud. However, they are sub-severe thus far, thankfully. Sally Wood, hello. Thanks for checking in tonight. On one hand, you've got the downtown Austin tower cam. You can see the state capitol, and there's a big shield of rain pulling across downtown Austin. You may see lightning from time to time. Jeff Rodriguez says it's coming down in Wells Branch. Obviously, it is absolutely coming down. Let me go ahead and make that screen just a little bit bigger for you, and I'll put this into motion so you can see the storms. They are below severe limits thus far. Let's hope that continues to be the case. Farther north, however, damaging, very serious tornado in Paris as well as Sulphur Springs, getting word of another one right in the Red River area. So nasty storms really causing big time problems up north. And for us, well, it's just loud and, gnarly, if you will. Ken, hello. Thanks for checking in. You say the storm is here now in Pflugerville. Larry Drake, hello, says terrible in East Texas. I know. I haven't heard about injuries. I haven't heard about if there were any fatalities. I do know I've heard reports of roofs torn off of homes and all types of terrible, terrible things happening from these storms. Chris Bennett, hello. Thanks for checking in. Chris wishes everybody safeness from the Pacific Northwest. All right, let's zoom in on radar. And again, let me reiterate by saying, yes, we have storms in Central Texas. Thank goodness so far they are below severe weather limits. At one point, it looked like there was some decent hail that was going to try to form. Now, any hail probably pea size or lower based on how things are currently looking. So that's a good sign. All right, so let me zoom around just to give you the feel for how things are going. By the way, did you see that sunset? So many pictures coming in from viewers of the amazing ominous storm clouds framed by the sunset tonight. Okay, the worst of the storms have pushed through western sections of Williamson County. Gerald, thankfully you escaped. You had some rain. It was not severe. Everybody in Gerald, stand down. You have seen the worst. Currently, we're watching the heavy rain and storms roll through from east of Georgetown, right through the Round Rock area, heading through Pflugerville. Very heavy over Wells Branch, quite a bit of lightning with that as well. In fact, I'm going to stop at this and I'm going to query the amount of lightning strikes just to give you an idea of what we're talking about. 78 lightning strikes just within that box that I drew that encompasses Cedar Park, Round Rock, Pflugerville, Wells Branch, Northwest Austin, and North Austin, all the way out toward Manor. So quite a bit of lightning still ongoing. Leo says raining in Kyle. We'll get down to Hays County in just a moment. Melissa says, what does it look like for Latonia? Your storms, Melissa, will probably arrive as we head toward around 9 to 10, maybe 10:30 p.m., getting down to the I-10 corridor in Fayette County by that time. Until then, just be ready because some of these storms could intensify as they head farther to the east. All right, let's hit downtown Austin. It is raining. You've got the tower cam on the left side, our Hilton cam. You can see it's obscuring the view of the Capitol so much you can hardly see it. Rain currently quite heavy over UT, over downtown Austin, Central Austin, Mount Bonnell, St. Edwards, Barton Creek Square, all of this heading to the east. So East Austin, Montopolis, get ready. It's heading here very soon. Now, as we head farther south, you can see that the storms are not quite as intense as you head toward the Manchac area and down toward Hays City. Then you head down into farther into Hays County, and you can see some storms are building from San Marcos to Kyle. And within that, I just want to point out to you, I'm going to go ahead and remove the lightning layer, but you may see that it doesn't look like much, but one of the things that I look for when I'm tracking non-severe storms, seeing if there's going to be anything worth noting, is see how at the end of these storms here in San Marcos, there's kind of a little raggedness to the edge, little thing dangling down south of that storm. No, it's not severe. No, at this point, it is not warned. But yes, there may be that sometimes those little areas can be an indication that there may be a little tiny bit of very broad rotation going on. So I've plotted on here the rotation. And you know what? I don't see anything that would even remotely concern me at this time. But sometimes with these situations, I will monitor those areas that might look a little bit different than the rest of the storms. It might be an indicator of things worsening. However, you can see that there's not a lot of lightning going on in that part of the area, which is certainly a good piece of information. Also wanted to make sure that you all are aware, as we are at 7:37 tonight, that a special weather statement has been just issued by the National Weather Service. What that is it's one step below a warning. So not a warning. However, certainly there are some strong storms. Just to give you the information on them, there's potential of winds up to 40 miles per hour, as well as hail up to about a ½ inch in diameter. In order to be considered severe, did you see that lightning strike there? In order for it to be considered severe, it has to be quarter-sized hail, which is 1 inch in diameter, so twice what we could see out of this. As well, you would have winds of 58 miles per hour or greater. So in this instance, yes, we get storms. Yes, they're loud. I told you there was no lightning in that San Marcos storm. I lied. I took the lightning layer off. Indeed, there is a lot of lightning in those storms. So those of you watching in Hays County saying, wait a second, there's a ton of a light show. In fact, I will go ahead and query this for you. Do you see that lightning strike there from our tower cam, Hilton cam right there? Number of strikes, it says 1. No, it's not 1. Let me put it on 36. That's more like it. 36 lightning strikes. So clearly these are highly electric storms. I know that there are at least a handful of weather delays for high school football games. So chances are your loved ones, if they are at a high school football game right now, they may be sitting in their cars waiting out a rain and lightning delay for good reason as these storms push through our area. Thankfully, though, at this point, they are not severe, and unlike what's been going on in Northeast Texas with damaging large tornadoes, we have not had that as the case. What's going on right now is we're watching generally just straight line wind gusting with a very brief window, another lightning strike, a very brief window of heavy rain and gusty winds, followed by a quick cool down. So this hopefully will be something that goes in and out of your given location in the span of about a ½ an hour. And I'm continuing to keep tabs just to see, will there be anything new that is updated as far as warnings. That is possible as we see the storms move into some of that juicier warm air to the east. So let me go ahead and wind this out for you. Those of you who are watching in Eastern Williamson, in Milam, in Lee, in Fayette, in Bastrop, in Caldwell counties, yes, these storms are going to eventually reach you. They may intensify, and so that's certainly something that we'll be keeping eyes on. Jessica said, Gerald, skies were very scary earlier, I bet, and I know you guys, the last thing you need is to see more severe thunderstorms. Danny says, coming down in Round Rock, thank you for your report. Nathan, mom heard an EF2 tornado in Gerald would be possible. So here's the thing, that was the Storm Prediction Center outlook. Not that it would happen necessarily, but that it was a possibility, a 10% chance. Thankfully, that risk has pushed off toward the north and east, and that is no longer the case. And thankfully, the storms have already pushed through the Gerald area, so we are done with that current threat. Certainly a lot of people probably out there realizing, okay, maybe the storms took their sweet time in developing and maybe they're not as bad as what we could have had, but we're still getting them. So areas from I-35 points east continue to keep in mind when thunder roars, head indoors. Buzzy, if I didn't say hello to you earlier, thank you for checking in. Joey, I see that you're watching right now. I say from what you heard, injuries, unsure how many. Oh, that is so heartbreaking. We'll show you in just a moment the North Texas, Northeast Texas look as well as we kind of track these storms as they're pushing right through the I-35 corridor, and then they will make their way eastward. Isn't it something though? You look at this Hilton cam, you can no longer even decipher or make out the state capitol or any of those downtown buildings because of the fact that there's so much rain coming down. I'm going to zoom in real quick and we'll just check in on some of the rainfall rates. Again, these storms thankfully are below severe limits, but they are strong. They could have some winds up to 40 miles per hour. They could have some small hail, and you can see that the brighter reds, those are the highest intensities, and they're right over downtown Austin as we speak. So the worst of the storm is currently right over downtown. I'm going to go ahead and query this. that 4-inch per hour rainfall rate. Talk about high. However, the good news is it's going to be a temporary thing as opposed to something that keeps on going. Let's see, Rod said sprinkling in Chrisman. I think that'll change too. Kevin says rain dying down in Jollyville. So thank you for that. Northwest Austin starting to see things wind down, pouring off Grand Avenue. Thank you so much for that information, Alicia. And keep those comments coming. I appreciate everyone who's chiming in and letting me know what's going on where you live. Clearly, though, we're going to see these storms push pretty rapidly off toward the east as the cold front clears our area. All right, so let me go through a few more things just to show you what's going on across the area. We've got the rain moving through eastern Williamson County. Here are the areas of possible hail, and right now, we only have some blues. Anytime we get into the purples, that's when we start seeing the severe hail. But as long as we're just in the blues, this is more like pea-sized hail, not going to cause damage. Might be a little loud, but otherwise no big deal. Let me know, by the way, if you happen to have any hail, just so I can confirm that even there might be some pea-sized hail around. Let's see, Mike says prayers for those affected tonight, not a drop in New Braunfels. Let's see if you'll have something come through. I know that San Marcos was about the southernmost extent of these things. You know what? The storms may have absolutely split you. It looks like there are some storms that have developed north of you and then now to the east of you. But yep, New Braunfels area may, at least New Braunfels proper, may have been avoided. Isn't Wurstfest going on? So maybe that's a good thing that they didn't endure the wrath of Mother Nature there. All right. Meantime, let's take a look at the situation up in North Texas. So I have some storm reports that I was going to show you. I just have to pull those up, and I'm going to do a 24-hour storm report. And this doesn't even include all of the tornado activity we've seen thus far. This is just going to give you an idea of some of the reports because the National Weather Service is going to have to go out and they'll have to do confirmation to determine what in this. Ooh, it looks like there may be one report. Let me check and see. Was there one report of some hail in Austin? Let's see. And how large was it? Stand by. We'll zoom in and we will take a closer look. So one report, pea-sized hail in Oak Hill. That is all we've got so far. Okay, let's go north, and not all of these will necessarily become confirmed tornadoes, but what a night across North and Northeast Texas. I'm going to go ahead and click on these one by one for you. First, possible tornado damage north of Austin. Next, not Austin, Athens, easy for me to say. Several reports of a tornado moving toward I-30 near Sulphur Springs. This was, as far as I can tell, a confirmed tornado. I did see some damage. I did hear of significant issues there. Here's another report east of Sulphur Springs, significant damage reported. Paris, Texas, heartbreaking, heartbreaking, heartbreaking. Multiple reports, tornado on the ground near Brookston, that's in the Paris area. And then east of Paris, tree snapped in half, many power lines down. And then into southeast Oklahoma, also getting a report of house destroyed in McCurtain County. That's with one injury reported there. We will, of course, get more information as time goes on, but let me show you the big picture. The overall theme is that, and it's been a bit since I've updated this map, so I have a hunch that the cold front is a little farther east. Let's go ahead and push it off to the east like so. We'll move this low pressure over here like so, and we'll move that dry line, which is basically merging with the cold front, like so. So essentially, anyone that is west of the cold front, your severe weather threat, and frankly, your chance of rain is gone. Fred, you're very welcome. Sandra says, watching from Georgetown, thank you so much for watching tonight. Hope you all are staying safe and dry. Again, if you're tuning in right now, we do not have any warnings in place, but there are some strong storms rolling through. Still dealing with tornado warnings across the northern extent of this storm system. You can see multiple tornado warnings. Those are the ones highlighted here in red from southeast Oklahoma into west sections of Arkansas as well. Still northeast Texas, dealing with some tornado warnings, and yet more over into areas of East Texas. So why there and not here? We had that cap on the atmosphere, that lid on the atmosphere with the cloudy skies and the drizzle and the showers through a good chunk of the day. It wasn't until late day that we broke out into sunshine. There was more clearing earlier and a little bit more basically of the ingredients coming together farther to the north and east, which is why the tornadoes formed there. What we're watching right now across central Texas is the actual line of storms with the cold front itself. And the storms that became tornadic were storms that were out ahead of the main line. Those were isolated, discrete supercell thunderstorms, which is why they were able to intensify and basically have all the ingredients of the atmosphere all to themselves, as opposed to what we're dealing with right now in Central Texas here is all the ingredients have to be shared amongst the entire line of storms. Hence, the entire line is weaker than it would be were they individual cells. And in addition, with a line of storms, typically wind is going to be your highest threat, as opposed to with individualized cells, they can create rotation and then they can become tornado producers. So many things that have been to our advantage that have been to the detriment of those to our north and east. So in comparison to there, we are much better off. Just to note, the yellow does designate a tornado watch, which is still in effect for those of you in Milam County until 8 p.m. There was talk from the National Weather Service about perhaps issuing a new severe thunderstorm watch. That has not materialized thus far, but it was something that was being considered should this line of storms rolling through I-35 end up being intensifying. And so far that has not happened. So with that in mind, at this point, it appears that we may escape the worst. Pea-sized hail, that's not so bad, is it? But yeah, reports of that violent tornado near Paris, Texas, damaging tornado in the Sulphur Springs area. I tweeted some of the pictures and some of the damage that I was able to retweet on social media here and there. Heartbreaking when you see that. And yes, it is November. Just incredible. So those of you in the Hill Country, all's quiet for you. You are done with the storm threat. Williamson County looks like you're going to make it through A-OK. Still a lot of lightning over Round Rock and eastward toward Taylor. Next up, Thrall. This is not severe. Those of you in downtown Austin, you probably got another 5-10 minutes before the storms start to decrease across your area. Those of you that are west of 360, you're already seeing the rain come to an end. Lake Travis, you are now officially clear of the severe weather threat. Bee Cave, you are clear of the severe weather threat. Lakeway, you are good to go for the night. Likewise, those of you in Dripping Springs and out toward Driftwood, storms are done. You are clear. Wimberley, you are good to go. San Marcos, still dealing with the heavy rain and the storms for you for about another 15 minutes or so. Then they will head eastward, affecting folks into Caldwell County. So Lockhart heads up, heading your way. See this green line right here on radar? That green line is where you're going to have that first push of wind. That's the gust front in advance of the storms itself. So first you'll feel the gust of wind, then you'll feel the rain, and then see a lot of lightning coming down. Overall, the storms are pushing off toward the east and northeast, and at this point they're running about 25 miles per hour or so. Did also want to make a mention, the storm that is down south in the San Marcos area, it does now show there could be potential for hail up to about 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Still below severe limits, but let's take a closer look at that just to head down into Hays County. This storm has intensified just a little bit. And as you can see, remember I told you anytime I see those purple colors on this particular map, purple colors correspond to hail starting to get up into that range where it might turn severe. Brittany, Gerald, you're all done. The rain has come to an end. The storm threat has ended. So if you are in Gerald points west, no issues at all. You made it through, thankfully. Deborah, you're very welcome. My pleasure. Dina says, thanks. Of course, my pleasure. Sandra, you're welcome. My pleasure as well. And Ray says, just, what does it say? Just a dribble in Niederwald. Thank you. Initially, I was having trouble seeing that because the line was, it was split into two pieces. So as you can see, the San Marcos area, airport area, Martindale, Maxwell, you may start to see or hear some hail pickup, still below severe limits, but something to keep in mind. Another thing I want to do is I want to take a look, and remember I was saying that if there were any spots that could potentially acquire some rotation, that cell might be one to watch. At this point, still does not alarm me, not showing me anything that is particularly ominous at this time, but of course we will continue to keep looking at it with a very, very broad rotation. possible with that system. Now, a lot of you may be wondering, okay, what's next? Where do we go from here? So I'm going to show you a few different things. Here is a look at the satellite radar composite, and you can see that clouds have cleared in the hill country. You are done. It's still warmer to the east. Elgin, Bastrop, Rosanke, Lockhart, all waiting for the storms, and your environment is still really soupy. Look at this. The dew points, that's the measure of moisture. That's the humidity. That's like how much juice there is for these storms to work off of. I see Joey, of course, talking about the tornadoes there. Tornado watch expired for Milam County at 8 p.m. And yep, it just came through. If you were following me on Twitter 3 minutes ago, Milam County tornado watch has been expired. Great news there. So here we go. Dew points are still just incredibly soupy in the low 70s from the airport to Bastrop to Giddings to LaGrange. These are the areas that are still ripe for storms. On the other hand, look how dry this air is out west in the hill country. It is literally bone dry. Obviously, the storm threat is over there. The cold front as well has pushed off toward the east. Oh, so concerning. Some things I'm seeing on Twitter talking about debris falling out of the clouds from Idabel in southwest Arkansas. So some of the debris being lofted by tornadoes up toward our north and east are pushing farther to the east, and that debris is coming down in southwest Arkansas. Just incredible. All right, so we're looking at the wind speeds, and here's a good indicator. I'm just going to draw a little line. If you look at the wind right here, everything here is pulling in from the south. Those are the areas most ripe, again, for storms. Everything here, the winds are coming out of the northwest, and yeah, it is gusty. Those are the areas where you are now seeing the change behind the cold front with the more stable air moving back in. So really, the threat, if I had to show you right now, the threat for anything additional to intensify is going to be this zone right here. But because we're looking at a line of storms as opposed to individual storms, the overall theme will be wind, straight line. Unlikely for tornadoes, possible small, maybe some isolated larger hail. Still keeping an eye on that San Marcos cell that's heading eastward. That's the only one that right now looks like it is at least somewhat trying to get organized, but as of yet it is still, I'm switching a different radar view, as of yet it's still not doing anything, not doing enough to prompt a warning. Okay, so now what we're looking at is a look at the hour-by-hour high-resolution computer model. And the, let's see, law enforcement reporting in Austin at 7:43 p.m. Pea-sized hail at the UT campus. Breaking news, dun, dun, dun. Thank goodness only pea-sized hail. So there you go, pea-sized hail being reported at the campus of UT in downtown Austin. We'll take pea size as long as it doesn't cause danger and damage, right? Also, there is water at the entrance of the Woodview Mobile Home Park from those heavy rains. Sometimes that happens. That's one of the areas that is somewhat notorious for having heavy rain cause minor flooding issues. Overall, most areas are not going to pick up enough rain. We'll look at the rainfall totals thus far in just a minute, but I do not anticipate that there will be a flooding issue. All right, one more update from the National Weather Service as we have a new, severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Hays County, Bastrop County, and Caldwell County. That is likely with the San Marcos storm. So let me go ahead and get on the air, folks. We'll keep this stream going and we'll keep things, keep you informed with everything as we go through this. And let me go ahead and make this happen. We'll go on the air real quick. All right. Stand by. Hello, it's Chicago. Hi, Julian, it's Chicago. How are you? Doing well. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for Hays, Caldwell, and Bastrop counties, and it is in effect until 8:45. If you can go ahead and just run the crawl continuous for me, and if we can do a quick cut-in. I'm not going to stay on the whole time, but I just want to do a quick cut-in on this. And we're on max. Yes, please. And we're on max 2. I don't have IFB in, but if you want to, do you have my cell? If you want to call my cell, you can cue me that way. Okay. And then I'm ready to go whenever you are. I'm in front of the wall and we can make it happen. Or I can call you. I think I have your number. Let me go ahead and do that. I'll call you. Oh, maybe I don't. Hey, it's Chicago. I couldn't find the, Julian's number, but I found yours. I am ready to go on. So yeah, we can go on anytime. Unfortunately, I don't have a good way of showing these storms without leaning over, but yeah, we can go on right now. We'll do a quick little update. And I'm meteorologist Chicago Windler. Just an update to let you know that a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for southernmost Hays County, eastward into Caldwell County, as well as into western sections. Oh, you're right. Okay, I gotcha. All right, I'm meteorologist Chicago Windler, just updating you to let you know that a severe thunderstorm warning has been put into effect for easternmost Hays counties into northern Caldwell County and western sections of Bastrop County. You can see a whole lot of lightning here. On this side, you can see our downtown Hilton Tower cam where the heavy rain has just now pushed eastward of downtown. Overall, we've been watching some nasty storms. The first warning to be issued is the one that we're watching right now. Through portions of Williamson County, you've got some heavy rain and some storm activity, but the real thing I want to focus on is the lightning activity, which is heavy at this point, as well as the potential within this system of seeing wind gusts up to about 60 miles per hour, as well as hail that could reach as high as quarter size. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning, not a tornado warning, but if you're in the line of these storms, which are racing very quickly until 8:45, I want you to go ahead and stay indoors while thunder roars. Let me go ahead and do a quick storm track for you so you can see the storms as they're heading off toward the east, and they are racing in a real hurry. So some of the towns and times, look for Mendoza at about 8 o'clock, which is right now, Lockhart 8:05, Lytton Springs 8:07, Cedar Creek 8:13, Bateman 8:21, Taylorsville 8:22, Red Rock 8:24, and Bastrop 8:29. So again, tracking these fast-moving storms with potential of winds up to 60 miles per hour, hail up to quarter size, heading off toward the east. We are streaming live on Facebook. If you want to go to the CBS Austin Facebook page or my Facebook page, I'll keep you updated every step of the way. Please be safe. We'll return you back to programming. Thank you, Ethan. I forgot that I only had my microphone for my Facebook live stream on, not the one for the work. But that's why I appreciate that you were able to kind of keep me informed. I'll let you know if we need to do anything else. I'm thinking unless there is an additional warning that's like a serious one, we're probably good since these are pushing east of the I-35 corridor. 8:45, thank you so much, and I'll let you know if things change. Perfection, appreciate it. Bye. All right, you guys, I'm back. We just did our little live hit, and you saw the magic of TV, I guess, kind of, sort of. But basically, we're in a situation where we're doing weather out of a temporary studio. So typically when I use the weather wall in our usual studio, I'm able to track the storms with our big computer on a podium. In this instance, you saw I had my little laptop and I put it over on a chair and I had to bend over to track the storms. Whatever the case, we got the job done. We made it happen. So there you go. We got everything in that needed to be in. I'm going to go ahead and on social media put out a new alert. Just for anyone who isn't aware that the storms are moving quickly off toward the east and northeast, and they are racing off. And at this point, the severe thunderstorm warning, again, for Hays County, Bastrop County, as well as Caldwell County, moving east about 38 miles per hour. It's going to be affecting those of you in the Lockhart area, Mendoza, Bateman, Cedar Creek, all those towns that you can see and times that you can see. Let's see, Jose says Redwood, you've got some lightning there. So you said the weather warning came 10 minutes after all of it was basically done. That is very interesting, Lisa, that you should mention that. Obviously, I don't control the warnings. However, if you were watching my live stream, remember I started to kind of focus in on that San Marcos storm saying, that one looks like it's got something going for it. So there you go. I'm going to go ahead and quickly send out a notification for anyone who isn't currently monitoring social media so that they can make sure to know that there is that warning in place. Meantime, I will widen out this view so that anyone who is not within the warning zone can see where the storms are and how they are progressing. And I'll go ahead and add to this the lightning as well. And there you go. So the strongest storm by far is that San Marcos storm, the one that's east now of San Marcos, I should say. Let's see. All right, and I am just about done, and then I'll be right back with you. And I know some of you may have more questions for me. I think the most important thing is that so far it appears we have managed to avoid the worst being the tornado threat that has materialized out in northeast sections of Texas and southeast Oklahoma, and now into Arkansas. So let's see, southeast Hays County, southwest Bastrop, northern Caldwell, and southwest Bastrop County. Winds to 60 miles per hour, hail to quarter possible. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and send that out. Those of you who don't already have our CBS Austin weather app, let me show you real quick. It's actually really handy. And in fact, just now, as I sent out that text alert on my CBS Austin notification, I got the notification and it opens right back up and it shows you that interactive radar. Oh, let's see right there. Shows you that interactive radar. So as soon as I was able to open up the CBS Austin app, boom, there it is. I can track the storms from wherever I am on the go. So hopefully that helps you out. Those of you who are not already using the CBS Austin weather app as well as the CBS Austin News app, both of those will pop you right into the radar as soon as you get that text notification. And so here's a look at our CBS Austin Storm Tracker app. Whoops, I forget that I have to hold it right in front of the camera so you can see those storms pushing through along with the weather alert. So those of you just now joining, I'm Chicago Windler. Thank you for checking in on Facebook Live as well as on YouTube. It's 8:05. The tornado watch has now been allowed to expire for those of you in Milam County. So no watch is in effect. The only warning is in effect is the one that you can see currently from eastern Hays County through northern Caldwell County into western Bastrop County. Those are the three areas currently with the threat not only of dangerous lightning, but winds up to 60 miles per hour and hail up to quarter size. Stephanie says very quiet in Bastrop, too quiet. Oh, you know what? That storm's heading your way. Be ready, because if this holds together, you'll definitely know. You'll be like, okay, storms are here. I got it. Ray says the storm just hit there. Lots of wind and rain. Thank you for your report. Let's see if I missed anybody else. Let's see. I got Rod earlier, Fred, Sandra, Ray. Okay, it appears we haven't had any new comments since 8 o'clock, so 6 minutes without a comment. Are we still live? Are you still hearing me? Let me know. If I'm not live and if it's not going anywhere, then I may as well sign off, right? So let me know if you got me so that I'll have that. All right. And I'm just answering a question. So it looks as though the Idabel, Oklahoma weather site that had been hit by a tornado not long ago had a wind gust of 108 miles per hour. 108 miles per hour. Okay, you know what? I am going to actually check and see if I am still live on Facebook. Did it knock me off? If it did, then nope, it shows, I think it shows I'm still live. Let me just double check. Shows I'm still live? Okay, Ray says you still hear me over the roar of the rain. It was very weird. I hadn't had a comment in 6 minutes, at least show up on Facebook. So I was curious. I wasn't sure if it was, sometimes Facebook and the connection that I use in order to go live can be a little funky. And I just had this image of me like talking and telling you all about the warning, thinking I was actually communicating with you, meanwhile being totally offline. But I'm pleased to know that y'all are still with us and keeping safe and watching the storm, so I appreciate you doing that. So right now, the biggest concern is just that San Marcos storm, which is now basically east of San Marcos. But let's go ahead and zoom in on it. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 8:45, and the biggest concerns with it, Rod says radar is going to hit Chrisman in a few. See, now I've gotten smart. I've got my Facebook Live pulled up on my phone, so this way I can see your comments here as well. Not only that, but I can also confirm that we are indeed live on Facebook. And by the way, shout out to any of you who are streaming this on YouTube as well. I do try to put this stuff out on YouTube. I know there aren't as many people who find me there. But honestly, the name of the game and the whole effort and the whole goal here is just to make sure that people who need important life-saving potential weather information will get that information. So just to give you an idea of the only reports of storm reports that I've seen, it shows reconnecting. Let's hope it doesn't conk out on me. Meanwhile, I'll just go to the camera full while it's playing its little reindeer games. See if that makes a difference. I'm like, reconnecting, what's going on? The reports thus far, come on, camera. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, hey y'all. So the reports that have come in thus far, 1 mile north of Austin at UT, pea-sized hail. That was at 7:43. And then we had a report at Lost Creek, 4 miles south-southwest of Lost Creek, also in Travis County, law enforcement reporting pea-sized hail in Oak Hill. So those are the two reports for our area. In order to be severe, you have to be higher than you have to be a quarter size or larger. All right, I'm going to go back to the computer. For whatever reason, it was just having an issue where it was reconnecting, and I was like, okay, I think I better switch sources just to be sure. But the history on the storms in Bastrop County, so far I have not heard, and I've been monitoring social media both on Twitter as well as been monitoring the National Weather Service feed. Thus far, I have not seen any reports of confirmed severe hail or confirmed severe wind. Essentially, this was all radar indicated. Right now, looking at one of my radar sources, and let me go ahead and put it into current mode, it's showing that there could be hail that's just shy of 1 inch in diameter. And right now, the biggest hail core, and you can see that this area just popped up showing kind of illuminating to kind of give you an idea that there's been an update to the warning. So the update for the warning is that Hays County as well has been cleared from the warning because the storm has now pushed east of the Hays County border. So those of you in San Marcos, you are no longer under the warning. The warning has shifted east of Hays County now through northern Caldwell County and western Bastrop County. And it appears that hail up to 1 inch in diameter, as well as winds up to 60 miles per hour remain the threats with this system. One thing I want to point your attention to is what appears to be a gusting bowing signature. See how there's this little arc that looks like a backward C over Lockhart? That can be indicative of wind damage. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the lightning layer, and then you can kind of follow how it starts to kind of jut out a little bit. And that's the thing that I'm currently kind of monitoring as far as potential for seeing a sometimes you can get a downburst, a strong gusty winds. Sometimes there could be power outages. So just whenever I look on radar and I see this little bowing segment, that can sometimes be the be the deal. Ray mentioning there's a little bit of a lag, 2 or 3 seconds. Hey, if it's just 2 or 3 seconds, I'll take it. It's fine. Better than none at all, right? Let me make sure I didn't miss any other comments. Kevin, you're very welcome. I'm happy to be a source of information, especially on a night when I think a lot of people, myself included, when we were in that 10% tornado risk, not going to lie, that's something that really was unsettling because it doesn't happen all that often here. And a lot of people were thinking about the March 21st event and how much of a big deal that was in multiple communities. Just got a text from one of my coworkers. We're going to do live updates. So at 8:46, I will have a live update, and at 9:47, I will have a live update on CBS Austin, just tracking the storms, which hopefully by then they will be farther east and affecting fewer people at that time. Rod, you say you never left my Facebook. Aw. That's so kind of you. I'm glad to know that it was working. Mick, hello, been watching me today. Thank you so much for checking in. Judy says starting to get rainy and windy in Lockhart. Yep, it's right over you right now in Lockhart. So please do be safe. I'll go ahead and stop this and I'll go ahead and track it for you one more time with some of the towns and the times with the storms pushing off toward the east-northeast at about 35 miles per hour. So that means right now it is basically over Lockhart. So current time is 8:13. We're looking at 8:17 for Dale, 8:25 for Bateman, 8:28 for Red Rock, 8:29 for Rockney, and 8:39 for Clearview. So storms are brewing. Okay, let's head farther north. We'll head up toward areas of western Bastrop County, including the Bastrop area. I tell you what, the storms don't look quite as intense as they do down south over the Lockhart area. Those bright areas of red correspond to higher intensities of rain and likely higher wind speeds. Meanwhile, it's not as intense for those of you that are currently over the Cedar Creek area, over Weberville. Elgin, you're on the leading edge of the storms. The gust front is about to reach you in McDade, and then Lake Bastrop and Bastrop, you're going to see these storms roll in pretty soon as well. These as well are pushing off toward the east and northeast, roughly the same speed, about 35 miles per hour. I mean, they're moving. They are definitely moving. Okay, so let me give you some more towns and times. Wolf Dancer Golf Club, 8:15. It's 8:14 right now. Elgin Airport, 8:16. Salem at about 8:20. Butler, 8:24. Sayersville, 8:26. Phalen, 8:28. Camp Swift, 8:31. Lake Bastrop, 8:33. Blue, that's out in Lee County, at 8:36. And Casey Estates at about 8:38 p.m. Even farther north, I tell you what, Williamson County, your storms are like not that intense at all. I'll put the lightning layer on here. You've got some lightning, which is certainly dangerous, but honestly, this doesn't look too shabby. You'll be just fine in Byersville, in Bocas, and then heading into Milam County, into Thorndale. The green line that you're seeing right here, this is the gust front in advance of the storms. Meantime, farther toward the west is where we're dealing with the heavier area of rainfall, although not as heavy as what's going on further south with the severe thunderstorm warning that's continuing in effect for Caldwell and Bastrop counties. And then as we head into Milam County, let me go ahead and loop this for you. We've got storms, but at this point, they're not actually all that nasty at all, and only a little bit of lightning with them. So folks in Cameron, folks in Davila, those of you out in areas like Thorndale, yes, you're getting some rain, but no, it's actually not severe, thankfully. So currently, yeah, the line of storms pushing through our area, and we have one area that is of biggest concern, and also that's where the heaviest lightning is, and that's this big storm that's moving through the San Marcos area to the east now, and then moving across Lockhart, Lytton Springs, Mustang Ridge. That's actually where some of the heaviest rain and lightning are currently moving through. Again, I'm going to go ahead and move the lightning layer off, and I'm going to go ahead and just to be sure, let's see a new update from the National Weather Service just coming in. Just to be sure, I'm going to put on the velocities just to see, are these starting to rotate, or is there anything else that we need to be mindful of? And honestly, right here, what I'm seeing, this is, as mentioned earlier, just a signature of strong gusty winds. So we'll dive in a little bit more. I'm going to show you some of the wind speed potential with this. This is our wind tracker. And you can see within that warning layer, see how there's a couple of areas here, and I'll go ahead and remove the warning so I can query these spots near Dale. It's an indication of winds almost 40 miles per hour. So we're not, if this is correct, we're not even reaching that threshold of 58 miles per hour for the severe thunderstorm gusty winds. But this is a good way for me to kind of assess and see where could the strongest winds within the storm be. And thankfully, it looks like they are not as bad as advertised at this time. What a difference a few minutes make. Earlier, remember, we could hardly even see. Visibility was so bad of the state capitol, and now that the storms have cleared Austin, look, see things just fine again. There isn't a camera that I can access farther to the east, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would track this with weather cams farther toward the east, but instead we just have to use good old-fashioned radar. Again, east of Taylor, you are now dealing with the heaviest of the storms. Those of you in Georgetown, in Round Rock, in Jarrell, and points west, you are done for the night. No more severe storms, no more severe threat, no more rain or thunderstorms, just lightning you can see in the distance. If you are west of I-35 in Austin, you are also clear for the night, good to go. If you are west of I-35 in Hays County, those of you from Kyle to Wimberley to Dripping Springs, points west, also, you are good to go. Just be mindful, there is still some lightning in the vicinity. And then farther south, just to give you an idea, those of you that are east of New Braunfels, if anyone's watching from there, still dealing with quite a bit of heavy lightning there in that part of our state. So severe thunderstorm warning still in effect. Lightning, lots of it, as this storm continues to push across Caldwell County and into Bastrop County. The strongest part of the storm is going to be this right in here, where the brighter red echoes are currently showing up. So storms quickly racing off to the east. Let me just double check. I believe the timing is still going to be on about 30 miles per hour, 35 miles per hour. Also, there is a new advisory that is actually out for this southern storm, the one that's moving northeast of Seguin. This area in Caldwell County, the southern extent of Caldwell County, you have a new special weather statement that's been issued. It is in effect until 9 o'clock for winds up to 40 miles per hour and hail up to ½ inch in diameter. Mike, well, thank you for the compliment on the dress. I appreciate it. Oh, I just realized I've been so busy, I totally forgot to post my outfit of the day. All right, there you go. Red on top, black on the bottom, done and done. I'll post it later on. So let's see. That was at 8:14, so 5 minutes ago. Hopefully you guys are still tuning in and watching as we stream this storm activity as it's pushing across our area. So current time is 8:19. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect, northern Caldwell County as well as western Bastrop County. It is in effect until 8:45 as these storms push off toward the east at about 35 miles per hour. Go ahead and put this into stopped mode, and I will track for you the storms as they push off toward the east and give you some new towns and new times. So 35 miles per hour, north-northeast. There you go. Current time, 8:20. Wildwood, you're seeing the storms over you. Cedar Creek, very close to you. Bateman, Red Rock, Phelan, Lake Bastrop, Clearview, Casey Estates, and Bastrop State Park. All of this is heading your way. Biggest concerns, winds gusting up to about 60 miles per hour. Possibility of some hail. I'll go ahead and put on our hail tracker again. At this point, I don't know that we've got any hail that's reaching quarter size in diameter, but there is likely some smaller hail. If you look at this loop, when you saw those purples earlier, that's when I was a little concerned about severe hail. The blue typically is below severe limits. Just keeping you in mind. Sally says, still watching. Thank you so much. Dwayne says prayers. Yep, sending to all the folks in Northeast Texas and other areas that were so hard hit by tornadoes. Stephanie says you can hear it coming. 304 and 71. Nothing yet. Thank you for keeping us updated on that. I appreciate it. So, yep, there could be some sub-severe hail hail smaller than 1 inch in diameter. And the most likely area for seeing that hail right now is going to be from Mustang Ridge to just west of Cedar Creek, over Lytton Springs, areas like FM 812 and FM 1854. So Red Rock and Rockne, heads up, you probably will get some hail. I'm hopeful that it will not be severe hail. All right, back to the wider view. I'll widen things out and do a quick little reset to show you that we are dealing with one severe thunderstorm warning. That's the one for Caldwell as well as Bastrop County. But as we head farther to the north, oh boy, it's a whole different story. Southeast of Tyler, tornado warning that is not too far away from Carthage. Also, far northeast Texas near Texarkana, a tornado warning in effect there. Kelsey watching from Giddings, thank you for checking in from Lee County. The storms will be there before too long. And then as we head northward into Arkansas, storms now prompting tornado warnings into western Arkansas, a couple of different ones currently in effect. And even further to the north, there are more tornado warnings as we stretch all the way into northwest Arkansas and even southern sections of Missouri. So definitely this has been an impressive night of storms, not necessarily in terms of intensity for us. We have escaped the worst, thank goodness. As I still continue kind of monitoring thus far, there have not been many reports of significant severe weather, just a couple of reports of pea-sized hail that came in for Austin. And in contrast, you can see all the action up to the north with multiple tornadoes reported. And the National Weather Service will go out and survey the damage, but some of these absolutely have caused significant damage. It's something that has been evident. Social media showing homes destroyed and such. The two main areas that I saw very significant damage, Paris as well as Sulphur Springs, and I believe the one that was in Oklahoma also destroyed a home, and that storm now in Arkansas. So yeah, there has been definitely quite an active day across all of the Lone Star State. Haven't checked in lately. Let's go ahead and do it and see our high-res computer model to see if it has adjusted at all in the timing of the storms. Also, I'll go ahead and show you, we'll look at temperatures, we'll go through dew points, and this is just basically to help track where the front is. And once the front is clear of you, you are clear of the severe weather threat. So let's take a look. Anyone that is west of I-35, you are good to go. Anyone that is east, you still have a bit to go, but the storms are making good progress as they are, for the most part, not severe, with the exception being the storms that are into northern Caldwell and western Bastrop County, still keeping tabs on that, and the potential of possibly dealing with I just saw a really cool picture coming on social media. I'm going to retweet it. Those of you who are following me on Twitter, Phil Ostroff usually does really cool astrophotography, and he just tweeted out a beautiful shot of lightning and storm clouds from Andice in northwest Williamson County. He's very talented. His photography is fantastic. So it's still showing the potential of large hail with the system, with the storms that are now over northern sections of Caldwell County. Meantime, let's take a look at the dew points. The drier air absolutely filtering in through the hill country, all the way into Georgetown and Dripping Springs. The higher dew points are where the storms still have plentiful juice to work with, and that's going to be in our southeastern areas. And then we look at the winds, gusty, look at this, a 37 mile per hour non-thunderstorm wind gust out in Burnett on the wake of the cold front coming through. So yes, certainly some gusty winds there. Thunderstorm wind gusts could be possibly up to 60 miles per hour with those strongest storms. Here's an updated look at our high-res computer model. It updates about once every hour. It's not always perfect. I always say it's not gospel, it's just guidance. So just keep that in mind. And basically what we're looking at is the potential for the storms to be reaching a Giddings to Bastrop. Well, they're already over Lockhart. And this is at 9 p.m. So you can basically shift everything that's happening over here a little farther to the east. So real time is a little quicker than computer model time, if that makes any sense. The computer model isn't quite correct. And then here's a look at the 10 o'clock snapshot, which might be more like 9:30 if you want to, based on how things are going right now. And then here's 10:30, which is more like 10 o'clock. So Giddings watching. You're probably going to see the storms, I believe, probably around 10 p.m. as opposed to 10:30. LaGrange, you'll probably see the storms about a half hour earlier than this is showing if they continue on the current track that they're going. Joe, you're very welcome. My pleasure. 42 hundredths of an inch from Larry in Siena. That's in Round Rock, not too far away from Del Diamond. Thank you for that report, and that gives me a good reminder to check in on some of those rainfall totals. And then here we are, this computer model showing 11 o'clock, which based on the current prognosis and the current path of the storms, probably more like 10:30, pushing through our easternmost communities. And then everything should be out of here before midnight. We are done. Things are looking good, and we can all stand down at that point. Okay, so how much additional rain could we see? Let's check in and see what our high-res computer model says. Well, you know what? It's actually showing that there's potential for some decent rainfall totals, maybe a couple of inches if you're lucky through portions of Lee County as well as Bastrop County. Still yet to be seen if that actually materializes. Let me go back to the wind gust map, and then I'm going to go ahead and plot on how much rain some of you have seen. I know in the hill country you basically missed out altogether, but those of you who got some rain, we heard in Round Rock about 42 100ths of an inch. And I'm going to go ahead and pull up the LCRA rainfall reports. This will be from the last 24 hours, indicating a decent amount of rain, not too shabby. Look at this, we have a 1.42 inch report in South Austin. That is pretty impressive with those storms. So yeah, this report from Southeast Austin, 1.42. Downtown Austin, let's see how you did. Radar estimating about 1.3 inches. Let's head up toward Northeast Austin, 2.8 inches. That's good stuff, you guys. Not enough to cause flooding, but very, very nice rainfall totals. And then as we head farther to the north, let's check in. In general, the blue shades are a ½ inch or less. The green shades are anywhere from 3/4 of an inch to 1.5 inches. And there you can see in Round Rock, looks like some areas picked up anywhere between a ½ inch to 1 inch of rain. Meanwhile, the folks that are farther to the west in the hill country, yes, you got absolutely skipped. Not a single drop for the majority of the hill country, I'm afraid to say. All right, let's get back to radar, check in on the storms. And no news is good news, and I'm pleased to say I have not heard of any new reports of any additional severe weather or wind gusts. So honestly, the last thing coming from the National Weather Service as of 8:29 p.m., which is right now, is that the severe thunderstorm warning does continue till 8:45. Let me go ahead and put it in where the severe thunderstorm warning is in effect. We'll head down south. There you go. That white shading is illuminating that the warning has yet been continued. So the warning for Caldwell County and for Bastrop County is still in effect until 8:45. That is 16 minutes from now, with the main threats being quarter-sized hail, as well as winds up to 60 miles per hour. Ron is asking about Fayette County, looking at a time frame for you between 10 and 11 p.m. based on the current progress of the storms and the latest computer model. And it is possible that since this strongest storm within the line that's pushing through central Texas is going to be making its way toward Fayette County, you may well want to be prepared for at least winds of 40 to 60 miles per hour and the possibility of hail ½ inch to 1 inch in diameter should these storms maintain their strength and intensity. So those are the big things that I'm kind of tracking right now for our area. And aside from that, thankfully, not getting any additional reports of anything severe. I'm looking at one of my radar tools that shows hail sizes, and it's showing max hail size within that zone of 0.85 inches. So that is below the 1 inch threshold for being severe. That said, it is still in effect, so severe thunderstorm warning. And what I will tend to do is basically say, hey, until the warning is canceled, go ahead and respect the warning. So those of you who are in the line of storms, let me go ahead and track for you where it's going next. Please go ahead and stay indoors while thunder roars. Again, this is not a tornado warning, and we do not have pronounced rotation. Instead, this is simply a severe thunderstorm warning. We've had a million of these, and we will be just fine getting through it. All right, so I'll go ahead and take the northern to southern extent of the warning box, and let me just confirm that the area of the warning is still with winds, with the storm motion at 35 miles per hour. I just want to make sure it hasn't sped up. So I want to do a check to verify, and it does appear update number 2 of the warning, and it is still showing, oh, it's moving a little bit more slowly, 30 miles per hour. So let me go ahead and use that updated 30 mile per hour speed and give you some updated times as a result. Current time 8:31. 8:37 for Rockmead Bateman, 8:39 Camp Swift, 8:42 Bastrop, 8:44, 8:45 for Clearview, 8:51 for Bastrop State Park, 8:51 for Hills Prairie, 8:58 Upton, 8:59 for Alum Creek, and that gets you right toward the 9 o'clock hour. So hopefully that is a good help to you. All right, so we are going to be doing at 8:43, just before the warning expires, I'm going to be doing a quick little on-air cut-in on CBS Austin if you're watching there, and then at 9:46 I'll be doing a quick little update as well. So what's amazing and cool because of technology is I've got the microphone that's talking to you all, and I'll be sure to turn on my microphone for work, and that way we can simultaneously do both at the same time. In case you're wondering, this right behind me, that's the green screen. So because we're in this temporary studio, all I have to do is go from here to there, and I'm actually on TV, just like that, boom, just like that, which is kind of a nice little advantage to being able to do that. All right, I'm just going to respond, and we are good to go there. Checking text messages to make sure I haven't missed anything important, and it looks like I am good to go. So what's it like where you are? Those of you who are watching, how bad were the storms? Would you rate them as being, were they as bad as the night that the Gerald storms moved through, or not so much? Let me know. On a Friday night, they did cause some delays with things like Friday night football, and thankfully, though, we did not see a widespread tornado outbreak for our area, thank goodness. Clearly, you can see still a ton of dangerous lightning. I will go ahead and highlight this area, and we still have 233 lightning strikes, so quite a bit of lightning ongoing with this. Uh-oh, one of my computers is telling me the battery's low. Did it not get plugged in? What is going on? Oh, you know what? I thought pardon me, I've got to plug in something. One of my computers was plugged into a power strip here at work. The power strip wasn't plugged into an outlet. So I have a solution. Plan B, I've got a different outlet I can plug into. That'll learn me. Let me go ahead and find the other outlet. But that's actually pretty impressive because the computer, let's see, I got in here at like 2 o'clock, so it's been going steady for 6.5 hours before the battery started to go out on it. Thankfully, I saw the notification and realized the error of my ways. All right, the juice is rolling again. We're not going to lose anything. We're good. All right, so 233 lightning strikes with this that is currently ongoing through northern Caldwell County and western sections of Bastrop County. I'm still monitoring social media. Nothing as far as severe weather reports coming out of Caldwell or Bastrop counties, nor have I seen anything coming out of Hays County in recent minutes, which is good. I had a couple of people just respond to some tweets that I have, but no new information indicating. Wow, beautiful photo coming in from Joey Ellis of the storms as they were moving across his area. I believe he's in Coppers Cove, if I'm not mistaken, but beautiful imagery there. And let's see, lightning report, but nothing in the hill country. You could see lightning, but not actually get any rain. That's good to know. Still monitoring social media. I'm not seeing anyone reporting trees down, wind, anything like that, but I am seeing reports of some pretty hefty rainfall amounts. So a lot of rain out of this thing. Stephanie says still waiting, can hear and see rumbling and lightning, a little wind, but not much. Thank you for that report. Raining and windy in Bastrop now. Courtney, appreciate your help with that one. Fidelia is asking about Manor, and honestly, the Manor area is not going to see too much aside from, let me go ahead and take the lightning layer off, too much aside from just the heavy rainfall, to be honest with you. So the tail end of the storms is moving through right now. So here you are in Manor, and let me go ahead and loop the storms for you. You can see that the worst has cleared your area. You should be dry. If you're not already dry, you should be drying out pretty quickly. Thank you much.
Thank you.
Oh, I got it written down right here. I'm good.
I should know.
And I'm on Facebook Live. I'm doing it all at the same
There you
time.
go.
So yeah, thanks.
Awesome.
I like your shirt. Go Vikings.
Yeah.
One of my coworkers. Okay, we got a new severe thunderstorm warning that's just been issued for farther to the south in Bastrop County, and you can see it right there on your screen. New severe thunderstorm warning. This one is in effect until 9:15 p.m. So hopefully you got the information. Manor, you are in the clear. The new severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued for Bastrop County is also including Lee County and Fayette County. It's in effect 8:36 through 9:15. As far as the biggest concerns with this latest warning, it's moving at 45 miles per hour, so the storm's speeding up a bit. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust, quarter-sized hail are possible with this storm. Since we're getting close to when I'm going to be doing the update anyway on the air, I'm going to go ahead and just let our master control operator at work know that we're going to keep the crawl running all the way until 9:15. So let me go ahead and call him right now. Hey, Ethan, it's Chicago. Okay, cool. You said 5 minutes because I saw 8:43 on the thing that Tom gave me. Oh, I guess that is 5 minutes. Okay. Gotcha. So I was going to say that's perfect timing because the warning that's ending at 8:45, there's a new warning that's in effect until 9:15. So if you can run every 15 minutes, starting at 8:45 all the way through 9:15, that would be perfect. Yep. And then if you just want to, I'll call you in like 3 minutes and then I'll just keep on the line with you and we'll do the next canon. Or if you want to just stay on, if you don't mind. Either way. Yeah. I figured the phone is easier for me. Is it easier for you too or no? Okay. Okay. Well, I have my mic on this time, so that's at least a good thing. Cool. All right. So I'm still on Facebook Live, but as soon as you cue me, I will be up there and ready to go. Okay, perfect. All right, so those of you who are still joining me on Facebook Live, thank you so much for sticking with me as we have the new warning. Winds up to 60, hail up to quarter size possible. You can see the new warning box for Bastrop all the way out toward Giddings. This system or this storm is moving east at 45 miles per hour now. So I'm going to go ahead and set some stuff up so I can show it on the air in just a second. We're going to take the leading edge of the storms and push out 45 miles per hour right there. And so here are some of the towns and times. We've got 8:42 for Lake Bastrop, 8:48 for Bastrop State Park Page, 8:53 Manheim, 8:59, 9:04 for Smithville, 9:07 for Giddings, 9:09 for Lebo. And that will get you all the way into Lee County as well. So still, I have to be honest, not getting reports of lots of social media reports of damage or anything like that, but there is estimate of about 1.5 inches of rain in some spots with the highest totals. The radar is indicating the possibility of perhaps seeing anything between 1/2 inch to 1 inch hail. Also, the National Weather Service just issued a new severe thunderstorm warning until 9:45. And that's the area you see shaded here in white, which does involve southern sections of Caldwell County. Ethan, if you're hearing me still, 9:45 is the new expiration time for the set of warnings, so every 15 until 9:45. Cool, thank you. Okay, perfect. So I'm 90 seconds out from doing my little on-air hit. I'm going to go ahead and take my computer, and you guys can hear me while I'm doing both things at the same time. All right, y'all. So we're 1 minute out from the cut-in, and I'll put up those towns next. All right, we're 30 seconds out. Grabbing my weather clicker. And this is just 35 seconds, you said? Okay. Got it, thank you. That's excellent. It's just 1 second. I'm meteorologist Chicago Windler. We have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings encompassing areas from Lee County through Bastrop County into western Fayette County, all the way down through Caldwell County. All of these warnings are for the same thing, potential for winds up to 60 miles per hour, as well as possibility of hail up to 1/4 inch. So as you can see, severe thunderstorm warnings, this one in effect until 9:15, that one in effect until 9:45. A look at some of the towns and areas that will likely be seeing this coming up soon. Thank you. That was so, oh, you know what? I just realized I was using the weather clicker and I had the wrong computer. I was probably moving the Telemundo graphics instead of ours. Oopsie. I forgot because I was like clicking and I was like, it's not going. Thank you, Ethan. I appreciate it. Okay, that's perfect. Thanks. Appreciate it. Okay, bye. All right, you guys, that is that. Oh, you lost me. At least the sound. Okay. Maybe my microphone? You guys hearing me? Let's see. My mic is still on. I think it's going across. I think it's, as far as I can tell, it looks like it's going across. Let me just double check. I'll pull up my Facebook Live feed. Maybe I have to redo it. Okay, Lacey, you can hear me. Great, thank you so much. You know what I'm gonna do though, is I think, just in case people are not aware of this live stream and it's been a while, usually there's a maximum time I can do it and then it conks out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. I actually do have, well, I'm checking, I've got enough microphone battery on here. But I was gonna say I was gonna go ahead and finish out this Facebook live stream and then start up another one because there may be some people who aren't aware that I am streaming during these storms. And so that way, maybe it'll catch a few more people. So with that said, that was a very long, convoluted way of me saying I will be right back. So look for a new stream to pop back up in just a second. Not only that, but y'all, I haven't had a drink of water in a long time. So I'm gonna take a sip and then I'll hop back right back on Facebook Live in just a little bit. So thanks you guys for sticking with me. Still 2 severe thunderstorm warnings, Caldwell County, Bastrop County until 9:15 until 9:45. Hail, high winds, the main potential issues. And so look for my feed to fire back up in just a little bit. Thanks you guys. Oh, I'll do my typical end stream, letting you know, cbsaustin.com. Go for it, go to it. We'll be right back.